The lie of black don't crack. Let's talk about it. So I proudly use this phrase, and it's something that I've known forever, even before I got interested in plastic surgery, that black don't crack, and also Asian don't raisin. But for decades, years, it's been like the superpower, the armor that black women, and black men for that fact, have, that we don't crack. Our skin doesn't crack. We don't age as quickly. But the phrase, while initially on its face simply complimentary, can put a little pressure on us to maintain that uncracked finish, the uncracked varnish. But that badge of honor also comes with a large weight. And what if that weight, that pressure, is pushing us as black women to do things that may not actually be our personal choice in order just to fight and still be able to claim the sometimes myth that black don't crack? So where does this come from? Black don't crack is not something that came from out of nowhere, right? Historically, blackness has not been seen as beautiful. And you can argue me down all day, but let's just cut to the meat of it, right? Blackness has not historically been seen as beautiful. And so out of that came a recognition that kind of a resilient effort to reclaim the power that blackness can hold came this mantra, this phrase of black don't crack. That in some ways our skin is super powerful in that it refuses to age. If you look at people like Angela Bassett and Gabrielle Union, or even Tina Turner up until the day that she died, Diana Ross, I can name names, right? These are women who are older women who you can look up their age on Google, but it's hard to believe that they are as old as Google says because of how youthful they look. And so black don't crack is really like a revolution in its own sense, right? This idea that the outside world may not be able to see our beauty, but we as black people claim it. And it's timeless. It has become a point of pride, a celebration, and it's become an inside running joke, right? That black don't crack. It's a genuine compliment, usually passed between friends and admirers alike. It has always felt like a win. But this phrase isn't just about skin. And I am coming to that realization, or have had that realization, that it's not just about skin. Black don't crack is not just about how we stay youthful for a little bit longer than women of other colors. It's also about this idea that there's a resilience within the black community, especially black women, that we are strong, that we are maternal, that we weather storms while still looking flawless on the outside. It's a testament to strength. And while that may seem noble, it leaves very little space for the ability of the black woman to be truly vulnerable. Here's where it further complicates the matter, which is to say that what happens when a compliment becomes an expectation, when a celebration of resilience becomes a denial of humanity. The pressure to not crack is truly immense, and it creates an unrealistic standard for black women everywhere. That above it all, we must be. That through it all, we must maintain poised and youthful. And for many of us, it can feel that any aging at all is our own personal failure. Any crack at all is our failing, truly, to the mantra of black don't crack. Any gray hair. So it's not just that we can't really be vulnerable. We also must look perfect as well, up until we pass, right? We have to look like we're all 20, even when we're simply going through life and many of the struggles that other people have as well. Now, this is not a woe is me, it's not a woe is us, but it's simply expressing that this idea of black don't crack, while genuine in its positivity, is a very much double-edged sword. And it can create expectations that are truly, truly hard to maintain. Let's break down a little bit of the science about why this is true and while the foundation will always be true. Melanin, God bless it, is our personal SPF 30. It's our personal sunscreen. What causes facial aging, or aging in general, facial aging to be specific, is exposure to the sun. And so when we have this additional sunscreen, Black people should still use sunscreen, because even if we don't wrinkle, we still get skin cancer. This helps us to kind of prevent the damage from the sun. The other thing about Black skin is that it tends to be thicker and oilier. Oilier skin, or well moisturized skin, is less likely to wrinkle. And so for those two reasons, it is very much true that Black people tend to not age as quickly. But that is in terms of the outward appearance. We are still aging on the inside. Our bones still creak, our joints still hurt. We still get high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and to some degrees even more so than any other race out there. And we deal with chronic illnesses as well, while all maintaining a youthful appearance. And the daily stress may not show in our faces, but it does show in our bodies and in our energies. And so it's a little bit ironic that way, that Black don't crack can really hide a whole lot of internal struggle and turmoil. Now, some of the secrets I'm about to name aren't actually secrets at all. Now, one secret is that Black women still do die younger. A Black woman's life expectancy is typically 3 to 5 less years than her white counterpart. The other secret is that because of this kind of pressure, societal pressure, and this is actually not a Black woman thing, this is just a woman thing, right? Aging has become the 5-letter word, doing math in my head, the 5-letter word now that we at all points in life must fight. I get a little Botox to treat the wrinkle here and to get rid of this. Well, apparently not enough, right? Because you still see it. But this idea that now plastic surgery, dermatology, filler, Botox, all these things have come into play and are becoming increasingly popular, not just with white women, but with women all over the world, because we all want to fight aging. We still compliment people like Kris Jenner because of her recent operation, right? We still praise that and think that is aspirational. Were she to have nothing done, would we be as praiseworthy of how beautiful she is? I'm not so sure, and I fear that the answer is no. And in Black women and brown women especially, it's a little bit taboo, right? It's a little bit taboo still to think that generally we require such extreme measures to maintain our youthful appearance. Now, I'm being exaggerated for a reason. I was born of an age where Botox and fillers were for white women. That wasn't a Black woman thing. But now we're seeing that's just not true. And for women everywhere, it's not about changing completely who you are, right? It's really just about maintenance. Maintaining the youthful appearance for as long as possible. The need to maintain a flawless ideal still remains a huge need. And many women, Black, brown, or white, are fear being judged about this. Fear being judged that needing to turn to a plastic surgeon means that their own genetics has failed them. And that for Black women, in some ways, they have not passed the test of Black don't crack. And this is a huge problem. And it means that some of the things that we do as a society, as women, to maintain our youthful appearance really isn't a personal choice. Yes, we put down the credit card. Yes, we pay the cash. But we are acting out of the same motivations that keep us wanting to keep up with the Joneses and the Kardashians. So what is the answer? As I always say, the answer is far more complex than the initial issue, which is why the answer is sometimes just insufficient. I think the first step is being able to allow and create spaces where Black and brown women can freely say and talk about their fears around aging, right? Around aging, beauty, and their personal choices for enhancement. It's really about figuring out a way to separate personal choice from cultural or societal pressure or cultural betrayal in some ways. And it's also about understanding that in most cases, two things can be true at the same time. We can celebrate the resilience and the beauty of Black skin while also recognizing that it is not flawless and ageless, and that Black women are not superwomen. We can acknowledge that scientifically, melanin is our best friend, while also acknowledging that time, stress, and gravity come for us all, especially gravity. Aging is never a failure. And the goal is not to get rid of Black don't crack, but rather to evolve the idea, to remove the pressure associated with it and get back to just the celebratory core of it. True resilience is not about never showing a crack. It's about having the strength to be vulnerable. It's about having the grace to age on your own terms. And it's about having the wisdom to define the beauty within ourselves. Whew. I know this has been a very complex topic that I gave maybe just a few minutes to. But I want to hear from you. What's been your experience with Black don't crack? Have you ever felt the pressure? Have you ever felt burdened by it? Have you ever felt scared by it? Leave your comments and your questions below. Please like and subscribe. As always, love you lots, and bye for now.